There is a place in the North Atlantic where the Earth has not yet finished making up its mind, where the ground beneath your feet splits apart at a rate of 2 centimeters every year, where a mountain can become a cloud of ash in a single afternoon, and where the northern lights dance over glaciers older than human memory. This is Iceland, a country of just under 400,000 people living on an island the size of Kentucky, a nation perched on the edge of the habitable world, where the sun vanishes for most of the day in winter and refuses to set in summer. A land so geologically young that you can still smell the creation in the air, the faint sulfur of geothermal vents, the salt spray of the North Atlantic, the cold purity of glacial meltwater. From the colourful rooftops of Reykjavik, the world's northernmost capital, to the black sand deserts of the interior highlands, people here have built a life that should not, by any conventional logic, work. They have learned to live alongside volcanoes that can darken the sky for months. They have figured out how to grow food on an island where trees barely survive. They have created one of the most literate, peaceful, and technologically advanced societies on Earth, in a place where, for centuries, simply surviving the winter was an achievement. The Thingvellir Peninsula, where most visitors first touch Icelandic soil, tells the story immediately. Jagged lava fields stretch toward the horizon, like the Earth is still cooling. Steam rises from cracks in the rock. The ground feels warm underfoot. You are standing on the mid-Atlantic ridge, the seam where Europe and North America are slowly pulling apart. In Iceland, the planet is rebuilding itself in real time. This is not just a country, it is a geological event. And somehow, against every odd, it is also a home. To understand how Icelanders live, you must first understand what they are living on top of. Iceland is one of the most volcanically active places on the planet. 30 active volcanic systems. Eruptions every 4 to 5 years on average. The entire island is essentially a plateau of basalt lava, built up over 20 million years from countless eruptions on the ocean floor. It only broke the surface about 16 million years ago, a geological infant. At Thingvellir National Park, you can stand in the Rift Valley where the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates are visibly drifting apart. The cliffs on either side are the edges of 2 continents. Walk a few hundred meters and you have crossed from North America to Europe, not symbolically, but geologically. This is one of the only places on Earth where you can see plate tectonics with your own eyes. To the southeast, Vatnajökull sits like a frozen kingdom. It is the largest glacier in Europe by volume, covering 8% of the country. Beneath that ice, several active volcanoes wait. When one erupts, the glacier melts from below, releasing catastrophic floods called jökulhlaups that reshape entire landscapes in hours. The land here does not sit still. It evolves. It breathes. Around Lake Mývatn in the north, the landscape shifts again. Pseudo-craters dot the shoreline, formed when lava flowed over wetlands and steam exploded through the cooling crust. Boiling mud pools bubble in colors of ochre and gray. The air carries the distinct scent of geothermal activity. In winter, the lake freezes into a white expanse surrounded by snow-covered volcanic cones. In summer, it becomes one of the most important bird habitats in Europe. Then there are the Westfjords, ancient weathered mountains that plunge straight into the sea. This is Iceland's oldest region, geologically speaking, and it feels different, more patient, more worn. The roads here are narrow gravel tracks winding along sheer cliff faces, connecting fishing villages of a few hundred people. The isolation is profound, but so is the beauty. Iceland has no fewer than 10,000 waterfalls. Some, like Gullfoss, thunder with such force that the ground trembles. Others, like the countless unnamed cascades along the Ring Road, are so delicate they seem to float down the mountainside like mist. The country has glaciers and deserts, fjords and lava fields, hot springs and ice caves, all packed into an island you can drive around in about 17 hours. This is the stage. The actors are the people who have chosen to call it home. Morning in Reykjavik starts in the dark for much of the year. In December, the sun rises after 11 in the morning and sets before 4 in the afternoon. People wake, check the weather, always, and layer up. There is a saying here: if you do not like the weather, wait 5 minutes. Wind, rain, snow, and sudden sunshine can all occupy the same morning. The daily rhythm is shaped by this unpredictability. Icelanders are not overly scheduled people. Plans are held loosely. A road might close because of a sudden blizzard. A volcanic eruption might reroute your commute. Flexibility is not a personality trait here. It is a survival mechanism. In Reykjavik, the morning commute might involve a walk past the Hallgrímskirkja church, its concrete spire rising like a basalt column above the city. Cafes fill early. Icelanders consume more coffee per capita than almost any other nation. The city hums. Schools start. Offices open. But Reykjavik never feels frantic. There is a deliberate slowness to urban life here, a sense that nature is always just beyond the street corner, waiting. Up north in Culinary, Iceland's second largest city, the scale is even more intimate. About 19,000 people live here, on the edge of Eyjafjörður, the longest fjord in the country. In winter, the town is a snow globe, white peaks reflecting off the calm fjord waters. The local ski slope sits right above the town. By late afternoon, when darkness falls, the Christmas lights stay on until spring. People here know each other. The rhythm is quieter, but no less full. In Reykjavik, a small fishing town on the north coast, the day often starts at the harbour. This is Iceland's whale-watching capital. Boats head out into Skjálfandi Bay, where humpbacks, blue whales and minke whales feed in the nutrient-rich waters. For the people who live here, seeing a whale breach is not a tourist event. It is a Tuesday. Across the country, daily life revolves around the same small constants. The geothermal swimming pool, heated by the earth itself, is the social hub of every town. The local bakery sells kleiner, twisted Icelandic donuts. The weather app is checked obsessively. And the light, whether it is the eternal daylight of June or the deep blue twilight of January, dictates the mood of everything. Icelanders do not battle the elements, they cooperate with them. It is the only way. A home in Iceland is a statement of defiance. For centuries, building a house here meant constructing a fortress against the North Atlantic. Winter winds can reach hurricane force. Temperatures, while moderated by the Gulf Stream, can still drop well below freezing. And the ground itself might open up and swallow everything you built. The traditional Icelandic home was the turf house, a structure of stone, timber, and thick blocks of earth and grass, built low to the ground to resist the wind. At Skógr in the south, you can still walk through these preserved buildings. The ceilings are low, the walls are several feet thick, the roofs are living meadows. Inside, it feels like being in the hull of an ancient ship, cozy, protected, impossibly sturdy. For over 1,000 years, this is how Icelanders survived. Today, homes in Iceland are thoroughly modern. In Reykjavik's suburbs, and in towns like Selfoss and Borgarnes, houses are clad in corrugated iron or painted timber, often in bright colours that cut through the grey of winter, reds, blues, yellows. Nearly every home is heated by geothermal water, piped directly from the earth. The radiators never go cold. Hot water costs almost nothing. On the coldest day of the year, Icelanders walk barefoot on heated floors. This geothermal abundance shapes family life in unexpected ways. Children grow up swimming outdoors year-round, in neighbourhood pools heated to a constant 28 degrees. The local swimming pool is where grandparents meet friends, where teenagers hang out after school, where babies take their first splashes. In winter, steam rises from the water into the freezing air. It is one of the most purely Icelandic experiences there is. Family is the anchor. Iceland is a small country, genealogically, socially, literally. The Íslendingabók, an online database, allows any Icelander to trace their ancestry back to the Viking settlement. There is a running joke that dating here requires checking the app first to make sure you are not too closely related. The family unit is tight. Sundays are for visits. Grandparents are intimately involved in raising grandchildren. The welfare state provides generous parental leave, 6 months for each parent, and it is taken seriously. Fathers pushing strollers through Reykjavik's snowy streets is about as common a sight as the Northern Lights. Homes are sanctuaries. Candles burn in every window during the dark months. The concept of hygge, a Danish word for cozy contentment, finds its Icelandic equivalent in the warm glow of a living room while a storm rages outside. You cannot control the volcano, the blizzard, or the shifting tectonic plates, but you can make your home a place of warmth and safety. Icelanders have been doing exactly that for 1,000 years. Icelandic food begins with a simple question: what can survive here? For most of the country's history, the answer was limited. Lamb, fish, dairy, and whatever hardy root vegetables could be coaxed from the thin volcanic soil. There were no tomatoes, no cucumbers, no fresh greens in winter. Survival meant preservation: drying, smoking, fermenting, pickling. The techniques of necessity became the traditions of culture. In Hupn, a small town on the southeast coast known as the Langoustine capital of Iceland, fishing boats return with holds full of the small, sweet lobster that feeds on the nutrient-rich waters where glacial rivers meet the sea. The local restaurants serve them simply, grilled with butter and garlic. Nothing complicated. The ingredient does the work. Lamb is the national meat. Icelandic sheep are a unique breed, descended from animals brought by the Vikings over 1,000 years ago, unchanged by crossbreeding. They roam freely across the highlands all summer, grazing on wild herbs, berries, and moss. The meat carries the flavor of the landscape, slightly gamey, herbaceous, unlike lamb anywhere else. A traditional Sunday meal in a home in Ahkúrey or Selfoss might involve slow-roasted lamb leg with caramelized potatoes, green peas, and red cabbage. Simple. Generations old. Then there is skyr, technically a cheese but eaten like yogurt. Skyr has been a staple of the Icelandic diet since the settlement era. Thick, creamy, tangy, and packed with protein, it is everywhere. At breakfast with blueberries, as a snack, in smoothies, even in desserts. Every supermarket, every cafe, every home refrigerator has a tub of skyr. The controversial star of Icelandic cuisine is hákarl, fermented Greenland shark. The shark is toxic when fresh, loaded with uric acid. To make it edible, it must be buried underground for weeks, then hung to dry for months. The resulting flavor is intensely ammoniated, an acquired taste that many Icelanders themselves approach with caution, usually only at Þorrablót, the midwinter feast. In Reykjavik's Old Harbour district, curious visitors can try it, typically chased with a shot of brennivín, the local caraway schnapps known as the Black Death. It is not for everyone, but it is undeniably, unapologetically Icelandic. Modern Icelandic cuisine has undergone a revolution in the past 2 decades. Reykjavik now boasts Michelin-starred restaurants that treat local ingredients: Arctic char, wild goose, sea buckthorn, birch sap, with the reverence of fine art. Geothermal greenhouses, heated by the same volcanic energy that warms homes, now produce a significant portion of the country's vegetables. Tomatoes thrive in the town of Reykjavík, known for its steam vents and hot springs all year round. Bananas have been grown here since the 1940s. A country that once survived on dried fish and fermented shark now exports culinary creativity to the world. Food in Iceland is a story of adaptation. From the desperate preservation methods of the Viking Age to the geothermal greenhouses of today, it is the tale of a people who refused to let their environment dictate what they could eat, who found ways, generation after generation, to make this island not just habitable, but nourishing. Iceland does not have a big economy. It has, in global terms, a tiny one. The entire country's GDP is smaller than that of some mid-sized American cities. But what Iceland lacks in scale, it makes up for in resilience, innovation, and an almost reckless willingness to reinvent itself. For most of the 20th century, the economy ran on fish. Cod, herring, haddock, the cold, clean waters of the North Atlantic provided, and Iceland took. Fishing villages like Ísafjörður, tucked deep into the Westfjords, grew wealthy on the herring boom of the mid-century. The harbour would fill with boats. Processing plants ran around the clock. At its peak, fish and fish products accounted for over 90% of Iceland's exports. Then the fish stocks collapsed. Then they recovered, but with stricter quotas. Then tourism arrived and changed everything. Today, tourism is one of Iceland's largest industries. Over 2 million visitors arrive each year, 6 times the country's population. They come for the northern lights, the Blue Lagoon, the glaciers, the whales. They pour through Reykjavik, drive the ring road, fill the guest houses and hotels. The tourism boom has transformed towns like Vík, where a few hundred residents now host thousands of visitors every summer day. It has created jobs, fueled construction, and reshaped the economy. But Icelanders are wary of putting too many eggs in one basket. The 2008 financial crisis, when the country's 3 major banks collapsed in a spectacular implosion, taught hard lessons about the danger of overreach. Iceland's response was unorthodox. It let the banks fail, imposed capital controls, and prosecuted the bankers responsible. It worked. The economy recovered faster than almost anyone predicted. The experience left a scar and a story, a small nation that refused to be crushed by global finance. Beyond tourism and fishing, Iceland's economic story is increasingly about energy. The country runs on almost 100% renewable power, geothermal and hydroelectric. This cheap, abundant, clean energy has attracted energy-intensive industries, particularly aluminium smelting, and more recently, data centers. The same volcanic heat that warms homes could power the next generation of technology. In Reykjavík, the greenhouse town, geothermal energy turns barren lava fields into productive farmland. The work culture itself is distinctly Icelandic. The work week is shorter than in most countries. There is a strong emphasis on work-life balance. Gender equality is taken seriously. Iceland has been ranked the most gender-equal country in the world for over a decade. Parental leave is generous and shared. Women occupy positions of power across every sector. This is not recent progress. This is deeply embedded in the national character, a legacy of a society where survival required everyone to contribute. Icelanders work to live, not the other way around. It is an approach the rest of the world is still trying to figure out. In a country this small, community is not optional. It is inevitable. When your entire nation has fewer people than a medium-sized European city, the social fabric must be woven tight. Everyone is, at most, a few degrees of separation from everyone else. Nowhere is this more visible than at the local swimming pool. In Ísafjörður, a tiny town of about 700 people nestled at the end of a dramatic fjord in East Iceland, the swimming pool is the beating heart of the community. Elderly women do their morning laps, fishermen soak tired muscles after a long day at sea, children shriek and splash through swimming lessons. Business deals are discussed in the hot pot. Gossip circulates, friendships deepen. Every Icelandic town, no matter how small, has a pool. And in every pool, the same scene plays out daily, year after year. Social life in Iceland is low-key but deeply rooted. There is not a frenetic nightlife culture. Reykjavik has its bars and clubs, certainly, and the weekend can get lively. But the more common social rhythm involves inviting friends over for coffee, or gathering for a family meal, or meeting at the pool. The weather discourages spontaneity. You plan, you commit, and when you gather meaningfully. Thor Ra Blot, the midwinter feast celebrated in January and February, is a direct link to the Viking past. Communities across the country, from the Westman Islands off the south coast to the northern fjords, gather to eat traditional preserved foods: fermented shark, sour ram's testicles, smoked lamb, blood pudding. It is not for the faint of heart, but it is not really about the food. It is about coming together in the darkest part of the year, lighting fires, raising glasses of brechni vín, and celebrating the fact that the community has survived another winter. It is a ritual of resilience. Jóns Messa, the Midsummer Night celebration, is the flip side, a pagan-rooted festival marking the longest day of the year, when the sun barely dips below the horizon before rising again. Legend says that on this night, cows gain the power of speech and seals shed their skins to become human. Bonfires burn across the countryside. In the Westman Islands, the midnight sun bathes the cliffs in golden light, and people stay up until the early hours, celebrating in the eternal twilight. Icelanders are also voracious readers and writers. The country publishes more books per capita than any other nation. The Christmas tradition is jólabókaflóð, the Christmas book flood, where books are exchanged as gifts on Christmas Eve, and the night is spent reading and drinking hot chocolate. This is a country that values words, that values stories. Perhaps because for centuries, stories were all they had to keep them company through the long, dark winters. Iceland is not an easy place to live. For all its beauty, for all the quality of life statistics, there are genuine hardships, the kind that do not show up in travel documentaries. The darkness is the first thing. In Reykjavik, on the shortest day of the year, the sun barely clears the horizon. Up in Culinary, it doesn't clear it at all. For weeks, the light is a prolonged twilight, a few hours of pale blue sky before the darkness returns. Seasonal affective disorder is common. People use light therapy lamps. They take vitamin D supplements. Some leave for a midwinter holiday to somewhere sunny. Most simply endure. They light more candles, gather with friends more often, and remind themselves that the summer will come. And when it does, it will be endless. Then there is the cost of living. Iceland is one of the most expensive countries in the world. Importing almost everything onto a remote North Atlantic island comes at a price. A simple restaurant meal can cost what a fine dining experience costs elsewhere. Rent in Reykjavik has reached levels that strain even professional salaries. Housing is a genuine crisis, especially for young people. Many live with their parents well into their 20s and 30s. Buying a home requires either substantial family support or years of aggressive saving. The dream of home ownership, once a given, is slipping away. The weather is not just an inconvenience. It can be dangerous. Sudden blizzards close roads without warning. Tourists and locals alike can find themselves stranded. In winter, driving the ring road requires constant vigilance. Wind gusts can flip vehicles. The weather forecast is not small talk here. It is essential intelligence. Geological threats are real and present. In 2023 and 2024, the Þingvellir Peninsula experienced a series of volcanic eruptions near the town of Reykjavik. The town had to be evacuated. Some homes were destroyed by lava flows. Cracks opened in the earth. The residents of Reykjavik, a community of about 3,000 people, faced an agonizing uncertainty. Whether they would ever be able to return to their homes, whether their town would survive. For a country that lives with volcanoes as neighbors, this is not abstract. It is the cost of living on an island that is still being built. There is also the isolation, not just geographical but social. Making friends in Iceland can be difficult for outsiders. The society is close-knit to the point of being impenetrable. People who move here from abroad often report that while Icelanders are polite and helpful, forming deep friendships can take years. The warmth exists, but it is behind a door that opens slowly. Iceland exists in two time periods simultaneously. Walk through downtown Reykjavik, and you will see a thoroughly modern European city. Sleek design shops, high-end restaurants, tech startups, fashion-forward 20-somethings. Drive an hour into the countryside and you enter a world that would be recognizable to someone living here 200 years ago. The tension between these two Icelands is a defining feature of contemporary life. The country has digitized almost everything. Internet penetration is near universal. The government runs on digital platforms. Cash is almost extinct. Even the smallest rural cafe takes cards. Iceland is, in many ways, a technology utopia. The geothermal data centers near Reykjavik and Hafnarfjörður host servers for global companies. The startup scene is vibrant. Icelanders adopt new technology faster than almost any population on Earth. And yet, traditions persist that have nothing to do with modernity. Belief in elves and hidden people, Huldufolk, is still taken seriously enough that road projects have been rerouted to avoid disturbing their supposed homes. A majority of Icelanders will not outright say they believe, but they will not say they do not either. It is a cultural wink, a way of staying connected to the folklore that sustained generations through the darkness. In rural communities around Mývatn, sheep farming continues much as it has for centuries. Every autumn, the Reykjavík, the annual sheep roundup, brings entire communities together. Farmers on horseback and on foot comb the highlands, gathering sheep that have been grazing freely all summer. The animals are sorted in circular stone pens, each farmer claiming their own by ear markings. It is hard, cold, wet work, and it is one of the most cherished traditions in Icelandic rural life. Young people who have moved to Reykjavik come back for it. It is a homecoming. Fishing villages like those in the Westfjords still depend on the sea. Sons follow fathers onto trawlers. The work is dangerous, physically demanding, and subject to the whims of quotas and international markets. But it carries a dignity that factory work or office work does not. It is a direct line to the Viking past. The younger generation navigates this duality with a kind of pragmatic grace. They are globally connected, fluent in English, active on social media, aware of every trend. But they also know how to fillet a cod, how to read the weather, how to find their way in the highlands without GPS. They are Icelandic first, modern second. The question for Iceland is how long this balance can hold. Tourism brings money but also crowds and cultural dilution. Technology connects but also homogenizes. The old ways, the sheep roundups, the fishing traditions, the folklore, require active effort to preserve. Icelanders are making that effort, but the current is strong. And so, the question hangs over everything. Why stay? Why build a life on a volcanic island in the North Atlantic, where the sun disappears for months, where a cup of coffee costs $8, where the ground might open beneath your feet? The answers are as layered as the landscape. There is the nature, of course. Stand at Jökulsárlón, the glacier lagoon in the southeast, and watch icebergs carve from the retreating tongue of Vatnajökull, drifting silently toward the sea. The ice glows blue, a deep, ancient blue that seems to contain the memory of 10,000 winters. Seals surface between the flows. The silence is so complete, you can hear the ice cracking. This is not a view, it is a revelation. There is the air. It is the cleanest air you will ever breathe, carried across the Atlantic, untouched by industry, washed by rain and snow. You do not notice clean air until you have lived without it. Icelanders breathe air that tastes like water. There is the water itself. Cold, pure, straight from the glacier or the spring. You can drink from any stream in the highlands. You can fill a bottle from a tap in Reykjavik, and it tastes better than bottled water anywhere else. This is not a luxury. It is a daily fact of life that Icelanders take for granted until they travel abroad and remember what most of the world drinks. There is the safety. Iceland is one of the safest countries on Earth. Violent crime is almost non-existent. Children walk to school alone. Women walk home alone at night. The police do not carry guns. This is not because of some authoritarian enforcement of order. It is because a small, interconnected society polices itself through relationships. You do not harm your neighbor. Your neighbor might be your cousin. There is the community. In a country of fewer than 400,000 people, you matter. Your voice matters. Your vote matters. The distance between citizen and government is short. If you have a problem, there is someone you can call, often someone you already know. This is the opposite of alienation. It is belonging. And there is something harder to name. A relationship with the land that goes deeper than appreciation. The ocean, the wind, the endless summer light, the impossible winter darkness, the volcanoes that remind you regularly that you are small and temporary. Icelanders do not conquer nature, they live inside it. They are humbled by it daily. And in that humility, they find something that the rest of the world, in its climate-controlled, algorithm-curated comfort, has largely forgotten. A direct, undeniable connection to the planet that made them. People stay because Iceland is not just where they live, it is what they are. What would you find hardest to adapt to? The endless winter darkness, or living on an island where the ground could open beneath your feet? Drop one word in the comments: darkness or volcano.